Hi guys, this is a quick update regarding the Let's Play videos, specifically the length, the fact that I've gone back to the long format. Generally speaking, I think it's been a good thing. I do think the channel looks a lot better without double videos and triple videos. I think it looks neater than if you go back to an earlier day when I was using, for example, two of them. I think it looks neater. I like it. It's less spam. It's less cluttered. And from the looks of things, looking at the views, generally I think people don't mind the long version. There is on all of the long versions now links to the short versions, which you cannot see on the channel. You have to go to them from here. And people are using them, so I'm going to keep doing them this way because, you know, it would seem there are not many, but maybe 200-300 people who cannot watch the long one due to buffering issues. They are watching this, but there are not many people watching this, even though quite a few people seem to prefer this format. Most people seem to actually watch the long one, so it seems to be generally the right choice. But I will tell you that I did have some horrific problems. I made long versions of the videos for parts 10 through 15 14 of the Let's Play Skyrim, so that's 5 episodes, and more or less 4 or 5 of the Fallout 3, and about 1 in 3 of them failed. About a third of them failed when uploading the long version. As you can imagine, that is unbelievably irritating, especially when you consider I'm now uploading 2 short ones and a long one. So I'm uploading twice as much, and the long one's failing still, and that's one of the reasons I stopped doing it in the first place. However, the good news is, for the last few videos, I've been running a bit of an experiment. For the Fallout 16 and 15 and the Let's Play Skyrim 14, 15 and 16, I did not upload a long video. Even though you see a long video, I used YouTube's own video rendering. And believe it or not, it's actually pretty good. They've got this editor whereby you go along and I can sort of say, right, I'm going to take part 15, part 1, episode 15's part 1, sorry, episode 15, part 2, string them together, and I'm going to make, you know, part 15 long or something, whatever. And I hit publish, and what it does is it starts making a combined video of these two. So it takes the 2 parts and simply pushes them together. You can do some basic editing of it. It's not very powerful, it's not very good. However, the finished video seems to be identical quality. Now, I didn't tell you guys because I actually wanted to get a sort of unbiased view of it in case someone did say, hey, I've noticed a drop in quality. I couldn't detect any. I even downloaded the files they were showing and looked at the bitrate. There seems to be no difference. I think it's identical. I'd say 99% sure it's identical. And I've not had a single failure doing it. Not a single one. And it takes a little while. I put these together, I hit publish, and it takes 3 or 4 hours. It takes slightly less time than rendering it myself and uploading it. And it's never failed. Now, the disadvantage to this, of course, is when I upload the short ones, what I tend to do is at the end of part 1 of the short one, so if I go along here, at the end of part 1, I try to end it at a reasonable point, a point either when you're walking through a door, there's a lull in the story, perhaps something happens where I actually want to stop it there. I think that's a good place to stop. And I fade out, and then the next part, I fade back in and continue. I've removed the titles from the part 2. So when you start the video, it just goes into the video now. If a slight fade for pleasant viewing, but no title screen. I didn't think it was needed, and it lends itself better to this process. And then when I put those together, of course, you do get this gap, this break in the middle of the long video, a slight fade out, a to be continued perhaps, because I think I quite like the to be continued. It fades out, little 1 second gap, and then it starts again. It's a good place to pause, go to the toilet, get a coffee, the usual sort of things you do in if you're watching Game of Thrones and halfway through the advert comes up, consider it like that. I appreciate some people just want a 50-minute uncut, don't mess around video, and I do understand that. But this seems to be the best happy medium. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to let you guys know why it is you might have noticed this sort of gap in the center, this fade away, and also let you know that the long videos now are here to stay because I'm doing this. It's not a huge amount of extra work. I found a way around the failing problem, and we get long videos and the short versions for people who cannot buffer the long videos. So I'm thinking it's win-win at the moment. Anyway, thanks for listening.